Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel for another video today, and welcome to this week's weekly Mounjaro update. If you're new here, my name is Brittany. I have been on a Mounjaro terzepatide journey since November of 2022, so we are coming up on 3 years now. I've lost a lot of weight, over 100 pounds, and I share that entire journey here. So I like to be real and honest and forthcoming about everything that I've experienced on my journey and everything that I've learned along the way. So if you are interested in any of that, I would love to have you subscribe. I have a playlist that goes back all the way to like my literal first injection, and you can see me transform over 2.5 years time. So would love to have you stick around and join in the comment section and all of that. Now, today, like I said, is my weekly update where I share my weight loss for the week and any wins versus losses that I have. But I want you guys to contribute to that conversation as well. So down in the comments, leave me what your wins and what your losses were for this week. I would love to hear them. I did that last week in my free encouragement Facebook group, which is also always linked below. And it just really benefited me, and I'm sure a lot of others, to read people's wins for the week and kind of make us feel less alone when we read our losses. So be sure to drop your wins versus losses in the comment section down below. Starting with my weight, which is what we pretty much always start with. My weigh-in last week was 148 even. So I had hit 107 pounds down. This week I was 147.2. So I lost 0.8 pounds this week. I'm happy with that. I had a few days where I didn't walk, which we'll talk about. I didn't do all of my exercise, and it's summer, you know, like I'm trying my best to choose healthy foods all of the time. But sometimes I'm just in a situation where, you know, I eat something like a slice of pizza. Thankfully, with GLP1s, I'm not eating 4 slices of pizza, I'm eating 1. But I'm doing my best right now, and I'm okay with this remaining 7 pounds because 140 is my goal. I'm okay with that coming off a little bit slower. At this point, I'm happy where I am. It's just kind of what I can make or what my body can do, kind of figuring out what my body can do. So I'm okay with it being a little bit slower. Chris's weigh-in this week was lower. He had lost some weight. So last week he was... I should like write down so I don't have to search through every time, but y'all know how it is. Okay, so last week Chris was 178.6, okay? This week he was 175.8. So that's like what, almost 2 pounds, right? No, almost 3 pounds that he lost, 2.8 or 2.6 pounds down. Now, we think there's a reason for that. He actually took his injection this week. So if you guys know, if you follow along, Chris is my husband who is also on a terzepatide journey. He only takes a shot now once monthly because he is not trying to lose any more weight. His starting weight was like 226 pounds-ish. So he did actually take a shot on Wednesday this week, and then he weighed in on Saturday. So we think that obviously has a lot to do with the lower weigh-in. So we're assuming that over the next couple of weeks, it will bounce back up closer to the 180 range, which is where his goal is. So we're not worried about it. He's not trying to lose more weight, but he did lose a couple of pounds this week. We are just thinking that when he takes his shot once monthly, he'll have a lower week or so before it, kicks back up. So those are both of our weigh-ins this week. But today there was something that I wanted to talk about that I've been seeing a few people commenting on my videos. So it's like one of two things. So either people are like, yes, you're gonna love 140, go for the extra 10 pounds in terms of weight loss. And some of you are questioning why I'm choosing to continue to lose weight. And I think the people that are questioning it are coming from a really genuine and honest space of being worried. Like, am I at a point where I just don't know what to do with myself because I've been trying to lose weight for so long, and so I just can't let go of weight loss mode, and worried that it could turn into something that is not healthy for me. And so I wanted to address that because that is a very legitimate concern, and I totally understand where people are coming from with it. So ultimately what made me decide to allow my body to lose a little bit more weight is the fact that my body was not ready for maintenance. Every time I tried to do maintenance, it was a fight for me to stay in maintenance in terms of stopping losing weight. And so after a good like 4 or 5 months of that, where I feel like I'm not being successful at maintenance because I can't seem to figure it out. I think I just had this realization one day that maybe it's not time for me to figure it out yet. Maybe my body wants to let go of another 10 pounds or so. And so I think I just came to the point where I'm allowing my body to do what it wants/needs to do. And not stressing about either way. So I'm not stressing if I maintain, and I'm not stressing if I lose. So I am completely okay if I end up not losing another pound. I am fine with that. But I'm also okay if I lose another 10 pounds or so. So that's kind of where I'm at. I don't feel like I'm in this obsessive point. I actually feel like I'm in a really peaceful point in my journey where I've just decided to let go and allow my body to do what it needs to do. And I've actually had a pretty big realization lately in terms of letting go in life that I think I want to do a full length video on, because it's just, I feel like every month, every day, every hour, I learn something new about myself on this journey. And it's crazy how when I started at GLP1, I thought I was just going to lose, 20, 30 pounds. That's really what my only goal was to get around 200 pounds. And I started at like 250, right? 255. And I wanted to get around 200. And I remember thinking that's what was going to happen. At that point, I didn't understand all of the transformative things that were going to happen in my life. And I'm still learning them each and every single day. And the mental part of it for me and letting go and maintaining peace in my life has been the biggest thing. So I think I'm going to delve into that a little bit more on a full length video. But yeah, I feel very at peace right now. And I don't want you guys to worry about me. I feel like I'm doing what my body wants/needs to do. And I'm definitely not starving myself. I'm definitely eating slices of pizza here and there and all of that. So yeah, no worries about me, but I did want to address it. Okay, so moving on to, this is usually when I talk about like all of the news, things that have been going on in the world of GLP-1s. I have not given an orderly update in quite a while actually. So most of you guys know that I get my compounded tirzepatide through Orderly Meds, and I love them. I've been with them for over a year, and now I help to share them and share their story and all of that. But I haven't had a whole lot to update you guys on as of lately. I did get a message last week letting us know that we were still on track for the August opening of the new pharmacy. However, there is something coming down the pipeline, some pretty big news. I think a lot of you guys are going to be really excited for, but I haven't been given the go-ahead to completely share it yet. So just know that there is something coming that I think is going to rejuvenate everybody a little bit in terms of pricing and all of that. So anyway, just stay tuned for that. It'll be coming soon. But for right now, you can get the two promos that they have going on are for semaglutide 3 months for $249, no extra fees, no shipping costs, virtual text-based consult. And then for tirzepatide, it's $4.99 for 8 weeks worth or 2 months worth. Again, same thing, no extra fees, whatever. And you get the 3 increasing doses of sema and 2 increasing doses of tirzepatide. So if you're interested, there is a link below. They use 503B pharmacies, and they are just my favorite in the world. What I think really sold them for me, and I'm not sure that I shared that here, is when I had a Zoom call with Chris Spears, the CEO of Orderly, and I really was able to see where his heart was and see how forward thinking and savvy and emotionally attached to GLP-1s as he is, because he does have a very strong story himself, which I obviously can relate to. So I think that's what really sold him for me, and has continued to throughout the process of choosing to be on Team Orderly. I think has really benefited me more than I can even say emotionally and mentally. So they're really great people. Anyway, I got into a little like spiel about Orderly, but y'all know how I do. Okay. As far as news goes, July seems to be quiet in terms of everything, right? Like I think people are on vacation. A lot of things are just slower, but I've noticed in terms of GLP-1 news that it's slower, right? Like we've had some bigger things going on. We've had the insurance companies dropping Zepbound coverage for CVS Caremark. There's been some Blue Cross Blue Shield, some Aetna plans that have dropped it since July 1st out of their like top formulary. There's a lot of prior auths that are not getting re-upped. reauthorized. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. The people are getting their prior auths denied when they're up for renewal. That's the word I was looking for. And I think that is obviously sad and obviously whatever. But one thing that I've noticed that I find, I don't know if I want to say interesting or not, but I have noticed that, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, we were all worried that compounding pharmacies were going to be done, right? Like they weren't going to be selling anymore or whatever. And I'm sitting here now and I'm like, we're in this place of quiet. Do I want to say too much? I don't know. But we're in this place of quiet where like telehealth companies are trucking along and compounding pharmacies are trucking along, and we're not seeing a whole lot. Like I did so much research yesterday to try and figure out if there were a lot of new like lawsuits coming down the pipeline. I've not found anything. So I'm like, I'm wondering if it has something to do with Empower countersuing Lilly or arguing about their patent. I wonder if that has something to do with it. Like maybe Lilly's like stepping back to kind of see how that is going to play out before they start to issue more lawsuits and then get the same counter argument over and over again. I think Empower, I said that they were very smart to challenge that, but also, okay, there is a girl, Valley Girl or Valley Gal, you're gonna comment here, you do on every single one of my videos, who commented on a video on the pen that I was watching yesterday. And she made a really good comment that I really made me think and made me wonder what side of this I'm on at this point. So she said something along the lines of, if we challenge this patent that they were able to get and they get it removed, like there's not going to be any incentive for pharmaceutical companies to use their funds and use their resources to research and further science in the pharmacological world. So I think that that's a really interesting point. Like if we get to a point where compounding pharmacies are challenging the research that is being done and the developments and scientific developments that are being done by big pharma, what incentive are they going to have to continue doing research and to continue to improve science in the pharmacological space without the benefit of it? You know what I'm saying? So that really got me thinking. So I don't really know what side I'm on in that. I still think that there's got to be some middle ground in terms of pricing of the GLP-1s, and again, question why we pay so much more here than we do elsewhere. I saw that Eli Lilly was actually partnering with the Association of Physicians in India. I think it's literally called the API, to continue research there and to continue fair pricing and all that within India. And so I'm like, well, why is stuff like that not going on in America? And I think it all comes down to, most of us will pay whatever the set price is. And it's never been challenged before in terms of medicine. This is the first time that it's really come out. In previous situations, the medicine would hold a patent and there wouldn't be any generic form of it. And most people would just bite the bullet and pay for it if they needed it, or the insurance company, prior auths would go through and all of that sort of thing. This has been the first time that there's been this sort of like nationwide push back on why the cost is so high and why Americans are paying so much more than other countries. And I've said it once before, I know in a video, this is a big like cultural shift in terms of what Americans have been blinded to in the past and what we are going to be willing to put up with in the future, because no one's ever pressed it like they have before. So this is a pretty big like historical thing that's going down that I don't think people realize, more so than just the GLP-1 and the weight loss, the health benefits of the GLP-1. We're also seeing this huge historical case of this shift in America of Americans fighting back on something that we have never pushed back on before. So I don't know, I'll be interested in like 20, 30 years to see history books or to see med school books on this topic and see what happens down the road. But anyway, I don't know where I stand with that right now, because I do want, science and continued research and more health benefits and all of that. And why would they do it if they're not going to get the benefits? It's some type of benefit from it, right? The last thing I wanted to talk about in this video are this thing. Something that I just don't want y'all to fall for. So if you've not been on like TikTok, or I've seen it on Instagram, I've seen it everywhere, there is this like huge influx suddenly of people trying to sell GLP-1 patches or GLP-1 drops. They're not really a GLP-1, but they're marketing them as a GLP-1. Like you can literally go on and buy it off the TikTok shop, right? And the sellers of these things are typically like young, thin women or men. I really actually don't think I've seen any men selling them, who are talking about how much they've curbed their appetite and talking about how beneficial they've been and an alternative to a GLP-1 that works just as well. And it's just really like you guys know, I speak what is true and I'm not scared to. Like, that is not gonna work. It's a scam and it's not gonna work. And I just want everybody to know that. So I literally made a TikTok yesterday and they came out to fight me in that video. But I understand that they're trying to make money, but they're trying to make money off of other people's insecurities. If you're gonna pay for something, pay for the real thing. Like, pay that you actually know you're getting either the brand or tirzepatide or semaglutide through a reputable compound pharmacy, through a reputable telehealth company, whichever one you choose to use, right? Like, at least know that you're getting the real thing if you're spending your money, because I don't want people to go buy these patches or go to buy these drops and then 2 months from now they've wasted over $100 and they're like, well, what the heck, they didn't work. I gained 5 pounds, right? It's just, there is no replacement for a GLP-1 that is a vitamin, because if there was, would we all be in this situation that we're in now? Probably not. If there was one that actually worked, don't you think everybody would be going the cheaper route and getting the vitamins? I'm just saying, they're not going to work. Please don't waste your money on them. And if you see them, I don't even know, like, just, people are so influential. They're so influenced, right, by things they see online. And 99%, I mean, it's just like anything else, like all the skincare crap you see everywhere. Like, I've fallen victim to that so many times. I think I told y'all I bought castor oil, which I don't know, jury's still out. That might actually work. But anyway, that's my little spiel. Please don't fall for TikTok patches or drops or GLP-1 crap that is not really a peptide, because it's not going to work. Okay, that's my little update for today. Again, leave your wins versus losses in the comment section down below. I will also make a thread on the free encouragement Facebook group, so you can go join there. It's always linked in the description. It's usually right under the orderly link, or they're right next to each other. So it's at the top of the description box. I would love to have you over there. Make sure you answer the questions before submitting a approval request. That is how we gauge who we accept, because I want people to know, obviously, what the rules are. We're not picky over there. We just simply don't want to get our group shut down. So make sure you answer the rules to get approval. And if we deny you, then question if you answered the rules or not, because that's literally the only reason we deny. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I will see you guys tomorrow in the next one. Have a great day, guys. Bye.